Welcome to Lengua Franca. In this, the last of the present tense irregular verb series, we will focus on those verbs that are not just a little funky, but that are funky. I mean James Brown, Bootsy Collins, Grandmaster funky. These verbs break rules left, right, and center when it comes to conjugation. They give us fits. Thankfully, there are not many of these verbs in Spanish, and we use them all the time. Ironically, that constant use is what will keep us remembering them. Just to refresh our memory on irregular verbs in Spanish, this is the list that we have been working with during the series. We already covered the verbs that have only an irregular yo form in part 1, and those that are stem-changing verbs in part 2. This time around, we will focus on those verbs that are completely and hopelessly irregular. Let's start with the fully irregular verbs and in particular review the ones that most likely you have studied up until now. There are videos for each of these verbs, ser, estar, and ir. And as we discussed in each of those videos, there's nothing regular about these verbs. They have this weird oi in the yo form, and the rest of the conjugation is just, it's not what you would expect. In fact, in almost every verb form that you will learn for Spanish, these verbs are irregular in some way. Now that's funky. Well, it turns out that there are 2 more verbs that are part of this group. The first one that we will look at is dar, to give. I know what you're thinking. How is this fully irregular? Other than that weird oi in the yo form, there's nothing funky about this conjugation. Well, there's a reason why dar is included in this group of fully irregular verbs. For one, dar almost always requires at least 1 and at times 2 object pronouns. If you think about it, to give is the same way in English. We almost always require at least 1, if not 2, object pronouns. I give the book to you, with to you being the pronoun. Or we can say, I give it to you. Now there are 2 pronouns used with to give. The other issue with dar is that it is highly irregular in most other verb forms, much like ser, estar, and ir. In reality, it shares a lot in common with them. The other verb in this fully irregular group is haber. It should be noted that this verb is an auxiliary verb or a helping verb. It is never used on its own to talk about possession. The one exception to that rule is the form I, meaning there is or there are. But that's a different form altogether called the existential. We will talk about it later when we compare ser and estar in a different video. So when do we use haber? We will see it later when we talk about the perfect forms. Oh, and naturally, it is also highly irregular in pretty much every other verb form that you will learn for Spanish. Both of these verbs are certified funky. The second group in this funky list includes the verbs that have multiple irregularities. We actually have seen these 3 verbs in the previous videos in the series. Tener, its bestie, venir, and its sibling, decir. The thing is with these verbs, they all have the go in their yo forms, and they're all stem changing. In fact, decir even stem changes in its yo form. Huh? Oh, and just because you should sense some sort of theme in this video, indeed it is the case that these 3 verbs are highly irregular in almost every verb form in Spanish. Yes, folks, they are funky. Okay, we did it. We got through all of the types of irregular verbs in the Spanish present tense. Yes, these verbs can frustrate us when we are learning this beautiful language, but believe me, you can do this. You can learn these verbs and use them correctly as you practice the language more and more and more. Keep up the good work. Please like the video and leave any comments or questions that you have. Don't forget to subscribe to Lengua Franca's YouTube channel, which has more videos on Spanish grammar and much more. Oh, and please check out our Patreon page if you are at all interested in supporting us in our work. Hasta pronto. Adiós.